Hey guys, it's Alfie, and today we're going to be talking about Cult of the Lamb. So just a heads up before you watch this video, this game is a game called Cult of the Lamb, and as you can imagine, there is a lot of things that you may not want to see if you're more religious. I would personally not to speak on my faith, but when it comes to video games, it's all in good fun, and if you're unable to handle that, then I completely understand if you're gonna be skipping this video. This game is just a game. It pokes fun at some things, but in all honesty, it's not that bad. So just take that with a grain of salt as we continue through this video. Now, this game came out a while ago, like a really long time ago, well, compared to video game standards. And I remember when it first came out, and it was on my radar for a while, but I never really got super interested and thought about playing it on stream until I saw my buddy Flamez here play the game, and I fell in love with it so fucking fast, man. This game is fucking adorable and amazing and crazy and kind of scary. It is an amazing game. Holy cow. Now, if you guys don't know what Cult of the Lamb is, it is basically a roguelike game where you play as a lamb that has been sacrificed but then got brought back to life by the one who waits. And you have to basically create a cult in his name and go back and destroy the bishops of the old faith that originally sacrificed you and put that person to rest. Now, through that, you're going to be doing a bunch of crusades and running through a bunch of dungeons and destroying bosses as you typically would in a roguelike game. This is my first real roguelike game experience, and man, I'd say it's like a perfect beginner roguelike for someone like me. You'll be going through, and you have 4 different bosses that you have to defeat eventually, and that will bring you to the final stage of the game, which we'll talk about later on in the stream. So this game isn't entirely a roguelike. It's actually more like half a roguelike and actually half of more of a management simulator. Like I said earlier, you create a cult in the one who waits his name, and with that, you're going to be doing all sorts of things that relate to cult management. But we'll get to that later as well. First off, the dungeon crawling. So when it comes to the dungeon crawl experience in Cult of the Lamb, a lot of it follows a pretty simple basis. I think you have partially randomly generated rooms, and you'll be running through with your weapon and a curse, which is like, most of the time it tends to be a ranged ability of sorts. And that's about it for the first part. And then slowly over time, you're going to learn the heavy attack as well as another ability that they recently added into the game. In reality, compared to most roguelikes and from the research that I've done, it's pretty simple. There's not a lot of fundamental mechanics. You have your basic attacks, and you also have this dodge roll that you can do, and that's basically it. But Cult of the Lamb, I think, is perfect in that regard because it's not super complicated, but it gives you just enough. A lot of people that play a lot of roguelikes say that it's really basic and they didn't really enjoy that aspect of it, but with it being half roguelike and being half cult management, it sort of plays that off perfectly, where you're not doing one particular thing for too long of a period of time to where it gets boring or stale, which I think makes it perfect. Not only that, but too many mechanics for a newer player can be a little overwhelming, and for me, I found it completely perfect. So as you run through these rooms, you'll find all sorts of different trinkets. You'll find health, you'll find different tarot cards that give you special abilities that can enhance your journey, and eventually you'll come to either a mini boss or a final boss, depending on how far into the room that you are. And that's the basic premise of how that part of the gameplay works. Now, when it comes to the overall animation and the way that the game feels, it feels really good. I have such a fun time with it. It's amazing. For a roguelike, it strikes a really good balance, I think, between making you feel extremely powerful, but also, if you stop paying attention, you're going to die extremely quickly. There have been so many times where I felt like I was on top of the world and I was doing amazing and I was having a great time. Then all of a sudden, bang, I get hit. Bang, I get hit again. Bang, I get hit again. It's just constant over and over, and all of a sudden I'm fucking dead. Watch that one. Oh my, holy sh... Like most roguelikes, you have to make sure you're paying attention to your game. I played on normal. I didn't play on hard or anything. I played on normal, which is the recommended difficulty. And man, it wasn't bad, but it had me on my toes. I had to pay attention during all the boss fights and even some of the random rooms that you walk into. It's definitely something you have to pay attention to while playing. If you're a more experienced player, it might not be so hard, but for me, it was pretty rough, especially near the end when you had to fight the final boss, and we're gonna get to that, though. When it comes to the basic mechanics of the game, like customizability of combat system, it's not super in-depth. You have about 5 different weapons. You have a sword, a hammer, an axe, a knife, and you also have claws. And these weapons function relatively similarly. The only real difference between them is their attack speed and the amount of damage that they do. So depending on your playstyle and what you prefer, you can choose any of those weapons and it might work out for you. Now, me personally, I was a heavy hammer fan until the final boss. I couldn't use the hammer on the final boss. I would rather use, you know, a sword or even a dagger. I'll tell you one thing, a lot of people like to simp for the axe, but I just can't. I hate that axe. I hate that axe so much, man. I love the sword and I love the hammer, but I don't like the axe at all. It's just not something that I personally enjoyed using too much, even though everyone really loves it for some reason. But moving on, you also have a crap ton of different curses that you can choose from, and you also have the heavy abilities, like I said before, and I think they're great. Now, the heavy abilities weren't originally added in the game, and I can see why, you know, people would, you know, originally when it came out, people thought the combat was way too basic. But over time, they implemented this new update that helped out with cult management, as well as giving a little bit of a combat update. They're even talking about releasing another update that's gonna enhance things even more. As much as people want to bag on Cult of the Lamb for originally coming out with very basic combat abilities and stuff like that, at least they're working on the game like really good developers, and they're adding to it, and it's at no additional cost. It's free DLC, and they just want to see their game flourish. You can't really fault them for that. I mean, their game came out working, and now they're just adding more to it because they just enjoy the community that much. You can't fault that, man. That's the best you're gonna get in gaming these days, man. I mean, especially with AAA studios coming out with games that are half done and shit. Bro, great. It's amazing. You can't ask more than that, man. Fucking developers that actually give a shit about the game, man. It's hard to come by that these days. Anyway, moving on. Combat's pretty good. It's not too bad. Now we're gonna switch to cult management. So when it comes to the cult management side of the game, this is where it gets extremely adorable. The game's art style really blossoms here. You get to see all sorts of really adorable stuff. From the fact that whenever you indoctrinate new followers and the cool little animations that play, it's all so smooth and just amazing. There's all sorts of small little tidbits here and there, like how you can pet dog followers specifically. I found that so fucking adorable, bro. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's furry bait, and you know, me being a furry, I fall for that shit so fucking easy, but goddamn, they did a phenomenal job with the animations and just everything about this game. It's great. It's amazing. There's even Twitch integration, so if you have a big enough stream, you're able to get extra amenities and things like that, and you can have follower raffles where people can customize their own followers. Me personally, in my stream, I didn't use that because I don't have that many people watching me to the point where I think I'd be worth doing something like that, but it's an option for those that might need it. So when it comes to the cult management side of the game, you're going to be doing all sorts of things to make sure that your cult is well fed, prepared, and stuff like that. Make sure no one's dying on you. Make sure that everyone has food. Make sure everyone has a bed to sleep in. Make sure no one's getting sick. Make sure no one's starting to dissent. Gotta make sure you keep your faith up, man.
You gotta eat to keep your strength up, man.
It's important. That keeps your followers all happy and chill. You get followers throughout the game as you play. You can find them during your crusades. There's this spider character that'll give you some for free and let you pay to have some of them. The way you get followers is extremely easy and manageable, and it's great. You won't have any issues collecting followers to be able to get further into the game as it progresses. Now, with these followers that you get, the more followers you get, the more resource management you're gonna have to be doing, and the further level you get, the easier resource management will be because a lot of the stuff can be automated by other followers. For example, cleaning up after people. You'll get an outhouse eventually, and that won't be a problem anymore. When people throw up and stuff like that, you won't have an issue with that because you can have a janitor station and people can clean up after themselves. Another thing would be, you know, a medical bay. You got a prison, so you can imprison followers that are dissenting. You got all sorts of things that just makes the process a lot easier and a lot more manageable and a lot more stress-free, because oh my god, at the beginning stages when you get far into the dungeon and the bosses will start casting problems with your cult, it can get really fucking stressful to make sure that people aren't dying or running away and dissenting and things like that. It's just, it is something, man. You also need to make sure that you're doing your daily sermons so you can level up your followers. Leveling up your followers is extremely important to make sure that the faith stays up and everyone's happy and things are just great. You got to go around daily talking to people, making sure you dance with them, you give them their blessings, things like that, just to make sure everyone's happy and enjoying themselves. You also have these random things that can happen where a follower will come up to you and give you a quest, ask you to do something. I've literally had a follower come up to me and ask to play a prank on someone and make them eat a bowl of poop. There's so much random stuff in this game that just makes it completely adorable. There's good jokes, good humor. It's a great time. There's so much comical shit that happens that's in reference to a bunch of religious things. There are so many funny references to things that you may have heard in religion. There's all sorts of different buildings that you'll know of that you'll be building. When it comes to the cult management side of the game, it's not just managing the cult. There's a bunch of other things you can do as well. There are different areas you can go to. There's all sorts of areas areas you can explore. I didn't even finish exploring all the areas when I finished my game. I wish I did. You can do things such as fishing. You can fish with this guy that tells you he's not a fish, but he really is a fish. You can go and gamble. You can go talk to these shrimp in a lighthouse and collect resources for them so they can also help gather faith. There's all sorts of different things. By the way, the gambling thing... Whew. Oh man, you gotta be careful with that stuff, bro. It's like gambling in real life, bro. If you can come there with all the gold in the world and then just get unlucky and get fucked, man. But at the same time, you can go there with no gold and come out with, 30, 40, 50 more gold than you had before. It's fucking gambling, man. What can I say? It's a great time. I can't do anything with this. I can't do it. I'm not getting good rolls. I can't. This is bullshit. This game is bullshit. Overall, the whole experience of cultivating, a cult, of following up people, and taking care of them, it's adorable. It's adorably fun. It's amazing. It's a great time. Hi everyone. Look what I got. I love this game so much. Now, there is an aspect to the game that you're going to have to very quickly learn about when you start building your cult, and that is the death of followers. The death of followers will happen when you first start off. The first 15 members of your cult are probably going to end up dead by the time that you go to finish up. I'd probably say there was like 40, 50 members in total. I didn't revive a lot of people, which I sort of regret doing. But you're going to get a lot of cult members, and a lot of them are unfortunately going to pass away due to like either old age, or they might get sick and die. You might have to sacrifice them and turn them into energy for you to use on your run. You might have to sacrifice them so that when you die on a run, that you can continue and keep trying. People will die, and you're gonna have to get used to that. It's sad as fuck. You can't get attached, bro. You cannot get attached. You are the leader of a cult. Things will happen, and people will die. And it is something you will learn the hard way. Definitely. I learned it the hard way so many fucking times. Unfortunately, I have killed many occult members that I used to give me more health during a run because I died, and then I ended up dying on that run again anyway, and it was all forfeit. And oh my god, it's so fucking tragic, but such is the game, man. You're gonna get used to it. It's just how the game works. It's adorable, it's cute, but goddamn, it has it can be kind of unforgiving at times, man. It's unfortunate. Thankfully, though, you can revive people from the dead. I wish I would have done that more, but it is an option. Lowers faith, but it's something you can do. But yeah, overall, it's a great time. It's a great time. It's funny. It's adorable. It's kind of scary at times with how how you can sacrifice followers. It's the first time it happens. It's like, whoa. I'm gonna throw a clip in here and show you how traumatizing it can kind of be the first time it happens, man. Bring me to heaven. Okay, so you want... No! 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 Oh my god! Oh my god, you can't make this shit up. Overall, it's just adorably scary. It's not a scary game, but it has some tones, man. Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. As adorable of a game as it is, it does some really crazy shit. It does some really crazy shit, man. Oh my gosh. But I had a great time playing it. I'd recommend it, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, it is all fun and games. Now, I gotta talk a little bit more about the roguelike part of the game. Now, back to the roguelike part, specifically the boss fights and all the special stuff that happens. Oh my god, that soundtrack is so good. Throughout the entire game, not just the boss fights, but the entire game's soundtrack is so good, man. I'll be playing it in the background of this entire video. It is so well orchestrated. Riverboy did a fantastic job making that music. It is just amazing. Everything fits so perfectly together, and it has this like overall theme that's just great. I love video game soundtracks, and this is definitely one of those ones that I'll be listening to on a normal basis outside of the video game. It's just that good to me. The boss fight battles are so fucking epic, man. The in-game music when you're just going around dealing with your cult is amazing. It's all great. It's all amazing. I can't fraud it. I don't have any issues with the soundtrack of the game whatsoever. It's just that good, man. And now we'll talk about the bosses. There are 4 distinct bosses in this game, and each of them have their own little special abilities and things like that and ways of fighting. One of them is a frog, one of them is a caterpillar, one of them is a spider, and another one is a squid, and oh my god, the final boss. So, okay, so spoiler warning for anyone that wants to play the game blind. If you want to go play the game blind, do it. Do it right now. Don't watch the rest of this video until you finish it. It's a great time. Anyway, the final boss. As you go through beating the bosses of this game, you will hear each one of the bishops tell you about how the one who waits honestly is extremely evil, and you're doing a really bad thing by releasing him from his chains. And once you finish the final boss and release him, the one who waits will be ready for you to come to him and sacrifice yourself to him. Now, this part of the game it was like low-key emotional the first time I came up and went to fight the one who waits, because you get this crazy option of you can either sacrifice yourself or, you know, resent, which is obviously what everyone should be doing. And the whole scene is just, it's kind of bone-chilling, because, you know, you have all your followers are sitting in the cages and shit, and it makes you feel bad for them. Oh my god, it's just amazing. It's played out so well. And then you have the boss fight. Now, the boss fight is put into 4 different stages. First, you have the first son, the second son, and then you have the actual one who waits. And then after you beat the one who waits, it's not over yet. There's a second stage of the fight where, if you never experienced the last phase of the boss fight for the one who waits, holy shit, are you in for a fucking awakening. Yes! 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 That's not it? Did you believe me defeated? Did you think that to be all there was to a being such as I, you thought yourself above a god? Oh fuck. There's another fucking part. Oh fuck. Oh my god. You corrupt false idol, your corruption has no doubt spread. Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay. It is fucking insane. Not only is it extremely difficult, but oh my god, the visuals of everything is just insane. They have some fucking balls to be putting all of your followers up on crosses and shit, man. It's fucking insane, bro. Oh my god. That shit had me so fucking... I felt so uncomfortable saying that shit for the first time. It was insane. They had some really crazy and creative ideas there, man. On to, like, the quality of the boss fight. The first 2, they're not too bad. But then when you get to the one who waits, and oh my god, that is such... Fuck me, man. For a final boss fight, it does everything so perfectly. Difficulty is really fucking difficult. It probably would have been easier if I would have actually, you know, taken the time to actually prepare for the fight and get the right crowns and fleeces to be able to do the boss fight in a way that would be more efficient, but I didn't do that, and I sat there and I pursued through it because I really wanted to beat it in that one night, and it took me like an extra hour and a half to beat the boss. But man, that boss fight is rough, man. That boss fight is really rough. You gotta pay attention, you gotta be on your toes, man, because even on just normal difficulty, that boss fight is pretty intense, especially the last final phase. That shit gets so fucking tense, bro. It's insane. It's so crazy, man. The bullet hell aspects of the game is crazy. It is so satisfying to learn the movesets of that boss and finally beat him. And when you beat him, oh my god, that decision that you have to make. For me, I personally chose to spare him and to make him a cult member forever, because once he becomes a cult member, he's actually immortal, so he'll never die. And I put him in prison because why the fuck not? Fuck him. But anyway, no, that's what I did, and that's how I played my game, and I had an amazing time, and I recommend this game to anyone that wants to pick it up. And now time for the wrap up. So overall, I'd say this game is fucking fantastic. For a first roguelike experience, it is probably the best you can get out there. It's not super difficult, but not super easy either. And with the resource management style of the game too, if you enjoy those kind of games, if you like resource management as well as roguelikes, this is a perfect mix in between both of them. It is an amazing game with amazing visual style. The animations of this game are perfect. I just love it. I love the art style of it. I love the soundtrack for it. I have no quarrels with this game, man. For a first roguelike experience, man, it's perfect. I'd recommend this game to anyone that wants to play it. Playing it on stream was an amazing part. The game is extremely immersive and super fun and adorable, and I think it's great, man. I think it's a perfect first roguelike for someone like me and anyone else that hasn't gotten into roguelikes before and wants to give it a try. This is like a perfect in between. You're not just doing roguelike stuff the entire game. It's a mix up between that and a bit of resource management, so it stays real groovy. It stays real groovy, man. I'll sit there, we can sit there and vibe to the music while you're doing all your shit, man. It's so good. It's such a great time, man. So yeah, I'd absolutely recommend this game if you haven't tried it before. Definitely give it a shot. If you made it this far into the video, first off, I want to say thank you so fucking much. Second off, I'd like to say, if you're interested in my raw gameplay of the video, I will be uploading that. The full stream VODs will be uploaded on my channel tomorrow as of the posting of this video. And if you want to experience me experiencing the game for the first time, it'll be available for you to take a look if you're that interested. I know it's not going to be for everyone. You know, full gameplay is it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a long time. But if you really enjoyed me talking about the game, I'm sure you'll enjoy me experiencing it for the first time. And thank you all so much for watching. It's been great. With that, I'm gonna leave the video there. I totally recommend this game. It's amazing. It's a good time. I'm back. I'm back from my little hiatus. Sorry about that. We're back in business. I'll be uploading, not on a regular basis. I can't say for that, but I'm back at it. I'm just gonna say I'm back at it. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your night, day, afternoon, whenever you're watching this, and have a good one.